Good evening. Find ourselves at the middle of another week, and find ourselves once again back on the race circuit in official capacity because I'm going to play some more Forza Motorsport 7. I'm sort of in between on deciding what racing game I'm going to play next. I think I'll just a little bit more of this. I have to admit, actually haven't played like much of the Motorsport series. Like, I'd say last week was probably the most I've ever played Motorsport actually. Previously I would usually only jump in if, like, say there was like some sort of Xbox rewards program quest that required me to play it. Thankfully, they never asked much more than that. Just boot up the game and we'll consider you good. Although I do like a race or two anyway. Yes, apart from that, I did play like a very, very tiny bit of 5. I think I also played like Forza Motorsport 6 Apex back when, before they were bringing their Forza games just fully to PCs. They had their little Apex edition for the PC players, and now we're here. And yeah. So in any case, I can jump right back in where we left off here. I'm just gonna hit the race shop real quick, see what kinds of stuff they have here. Ooh, blue robot suit, yeah. Really, I'm running low on credits, so I should probably be more discerning with what I pick up. So, probably might not get the Belgium suit, but, farmer suit is hilarious, so we'll get that. And, might as well jump back right into our climb to the top here. Now that we're at the start of the stream, maybe I got it says one race, and I don't tell you the one race has got like a billion laps to it. Well, it's 22, but still, you're in it for the long haul. I don't know if I want to devote an entire stream to one race though, so maybe we'll do something else here. Like breakout open. For this race, you can drive any vehicle we want. Keep in mind the track conditions and that your rivals will be driving cars from the same division as yours.
For this race, you can drive any vehicle you want.
Oh, and so, you're gonna say it.
Break out your favorite ride or pick a vehicle you've always wanted to take for a spin. Keep in mind the track conditions and that your rivals will be driving cars from the same division as yours.
Yeah, sure. This is hypercars. I like hypercars. Yeah, one tricked out, right? Wow. Sure pick some interesting liveries for some of these cars. If I just went with the one that's 900, with the McLaren Senna. Jeez, this race shop just hits the FOMO to the max. Like, oh man, you only got 6 minutes to view the goods each time, and they're not even like that great of goods, right? They're like limited rate time items that just make the numbers go up, or cosmetic suits, which are perhaps the most important thing for me, and badges, which would be more interesting if they had any variation between them other than background colors. Circuit of the Americas. Yeah, I wonder where this is at. In any case, we're gonna race. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to race. Oops. I definitely wanna... Oh, wait. What? Why does the rewind only go this far? Just when they kicked in. Alright, fine. I'll play from there. Just you watch. I'm gonna get back into the front of the pack. much only getting by because I'm breaking all the rules. Hey, thanks for the cushion. And I would never be able to do the real life racing like this because, yeah, if I drove like this, like I did in the game, they'd probably throw me out and bar me from like every circuit ever. They'd be like, yeah, this man is a danger. Not let him anywhere near these circuits. And I'd probably be, listed in the history books as a person who was willing to hit below the belt. And yeah. Man, I need to brake way more early with this car. It seems. Oh, I forgot. I could probably rewind as well. And not that it matters. I'm gonna catch up to these folks soon enough. Seeing how I'm playing fair. At least fairer. Yeah, look at me. I'm a master of taking corners. As long as there are other cars there, I can take the corner. This weather is I feel like the sky, it's a super nice, super clear day. This is exactly the kind of weather you want on race day, right? You need to worry about wet pavement or obscured vision or having to have an umbrella or like a rain poncho or anything like that. Oh dang, I'm gonna finish second. I wonder if I should restart. Maybe I shouldn't take that curve so hard. Yeah, there we go. Play like Burnout. Gotta throw him off and then cut him off. Aha. I am the worst racer on the planet. Oh wait, that wasn't it. I could have sworn that was 2 laps. Am I mistaken? I guess I was mistaken. Alright, fine. This race is longer than I thought it was. It's still 2.5 minutes for a lap. And this game seems to be the average, so it works out, I guess. Oop. I really messed that one up. It's a good thing I'm in first, and won't keep being in first if I swerve out of that. Alright. Boy, I can just almost smell the crisp air. Xbox One. I almost thought that said 360 for a minute. Of course, I wouldn't be advertising a 360. Definitely not around the time this game was released. And I think I need to find like a new hard drive for my old 360. One I've been using for a long time. I think for some reason kind of prevented me from playing the old games on it. Like, I'm not sure how I explain it. But I mean, like, I had the hard drive in, it's supposed to be able to run Burnout 3, but I stick the Burnout 3 Xbox disc in there, and nothing happens. And from what I've read, it seems like the type of hard drive you have can sometimes like mess up backwards compatibility somehow. So I'll probably have to find like a different hard drive. Maybe if I find my hard drive transfer cable, I'll do something with that too. think I was looking for hard drives on eBay, and the 120 gigabyte versions are like $10. Yeah, it's not too bad. I wonder how my Xbox 360 still functions after I haven't even booted it for a couple months now, so yeah. Hopefully it's not completely out of whack. Alright, in any case, that's one race down, 5 to go. We can just move on. Wait, this music sure is something. I think I already mentioned it's definitely a step up from Forza Horizon 5, which for some reason just made everything super dramatic. It was all orchestral pieces everywhere, and this one feels more like kind of like your sort of sim race style music that you expect to hear, right? Your sort of inoffensive rock-ish, country-ish, punk-ish type of music.
You'll never get better just racing weaker opponents.
Shut up. Don't care. I'm not here to get better, I'm just here to, have fun. That's why I have the casual playthrough tag on here. I'm not looking to wow anybody with my skills because I don't have any to begin with. Ah, Houndstooth White. Oh, good night. Alright, so I only have enough money to afford 3 more legendary suits, so I gotta stop splurging. I'll get the Payday. Oh, they have Payday in Forza. Whoa. I think Payday 2 finished its 9th anniversary. Wow, Payday 2 has been around for 9 years and they've been supporting it for that long. And, I don't really have a second point to make. I'm just astounded. I know the devs were trying to branch out for a bit. They had a bunch of other games come out, and I don't think any of them actually stuck. Which is, I don't know. I kind of feel for them a bit, right? Kind of like that thing, right? You want to try to branch out. You want to try to diversify what you're capable of, but all people want to see is that thing you're good at, and you just feels like you're just getting stuck there. And sometimes it feels like you get stuck in the rut, but yeah. Oh, hello, Molecular Shadow Fox. Thanks for dropping by. Good to see you. Ah, dang. Indeed, a Turn 1 meme is alive and well. Alright, slow down. Yeah, take an extreme inside, baby. Alright. First place might be a bit trickier to catch. Yeah, after all that bumping around, not surprised. Second place fine, I was like, alright, here's my chance to get ahead of him. Alright. Tend to sound so much better on here. Well, yeah, that's not great. I guess if you're doing sim racer, you kind of want the engine sounds to be better, right? Because that's what people come here for. They want to drive that car, so they want to have their true-to-life experience. It's kind of like escapism in a different form, right? Instead of like exploring a big, vast open world, you're more like kind of living that racer life, going around from race to race, doing racer things. I have good amount of track in which to catch first, so I shouldn't worry too much about using going for the engine roar stay for the racing. it's that and you know, getting to see all your favorite cars up close, getting really in there. You know, as long as you're not getting as close as a Drive Club guy does. I think, wasn't it like one of the Forza Motorsports had like the Top Gear people talking about some of the cars? Finally got it first, baby. Motorsport 4. Yeah, I thought so. Super cheap auto. I wonder if that's like an actual auto shop. I've noticed this in all the race tracks. They all have their local brands, it seems. First game to have Auto Vista narrated by Jezza Clarkson. I see. Pretty cool. It's not like the Motorsport that also had like the Warthog that you could do Auto Vista with, but couldn't really drive it. Like they had it narrated by Cortana, if I remember correctly. Yep. All right. Okay. Oh, I thought I was going too fast for a minute there. It was really fun doing the Top Gear test track too. Ah, I'm sure it was. Yeah, Fujitsu. Wow, they actually have a dude there too. I wouldn't be surprised if that were like the company president or something. Man. Local ads are like the best to see, right? You just driving through city, you're driving through town, you see like a billboard with you know, an ad for like your local law firm or something like that. This track is in the US with all the Armor All signs. I think they you know, I forgot to check the beginning. But the race before this was a US race, if I recall correctly, so maybe this is a US tour. Yeah. Seeing local ads, local commercials. It's like the amateur production values just it's just real fun to see sometimes. Reminds me of Bathurst in Australia. Oh, that's so. It does have that kind of have that resortish feel to it. Right, it's got like the really neatly trimmed grass. The buildings, of course, and the raceways. Yeah. Definitely feels like something you probably see in like the southern US or something like that. Ah, there we go. Another race in the bag. Mount Panorama Circuit in Bathurst. Super cheap auto. Sounds like a cheap place for parts. Yeah. Definitely have a different auto parts chain around here. I think they call it AutoZone. Yeah. It's very have a very distinctive commercial where they do the old school thing where they have that jingle that they hope that people remember, and this one is just get in the zone, AutoZone. Yeah. AutoZone in Napa. Oh, yeah. I don't know if they're like a local shop. I think there was like, nuts. There's like some auto maintenance shop that I think is Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I have to spend 75,000 credits for this car. But it is still a 150,000 credit discount, so yeah. Give it to me. Pep Boys, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, the other kind of auto maintenance chain. I've heard varied things about them. Imagine if you're going for auto maintenance, probably one of those things where you're probably better off just going with your local auto dealer, the local mechanic. Puny Mantis. That's a fun username. Alright. Wow. Just look at that heat, that heat distortion right there. At least I'm assuming it's heat distortion, not like anti-aliasing. You get some good deal in those mom and pop auto starter places. Yeah. And that goes for like most mom and pop shops, right? Local stores, right? You can, yeah. You go there often enough, soon enough, everyone knows your name. And build up a rapport with them, maybe, yeah. It can be nice sometimes, right? When you become like one of those familiar faces, one of those people that everyone else looks forward to talking with all the time. I don't know. Sometimes it feels good to be belonged, right? To be wanted. Reminds me, I think back in college, there's one game store that I used to frequent a lot because I bought a lot of video games like with them, and I guess I also went into like pre-order a lot of them. So I always did the thing where I would always just pay it off in full, so that way, when release day comes, I can just walk in, pick it up, and then be on my way. Just go, and that was always fun. Eventually, they started started anticipating it. After several trips, I would come in, and then I'd ask, "Hey, can I pre-order this game?" And they say, "Yeah." And I guess you're gonna pay it off in full. And I say, "Yeah, of course, as always." It's always fun when people start taking notice. So I kind of feel a little weird about it too. I don't know why. I guess it's one of those things where sometimes you want to perhaps kick up a conversation with someone, but other times it's like you just want to get in, do your thing, and get out. Especially these days. But sometimes it's nice to know that you're recognized. Before they had this different pre-order bonuses for different shops and regions. Oh yeah, I can't believe when they started doing that. I was like kind of annoyed by it. Right? It's like, okay, you pre-order from like GameStop, you can get this pack, and if you pre-order from Best Buy, you get this other pack, and if you pre-order from Target or Walmart, you get this other thing. And I think the way I look at it now, it's like 9 times out of 10, most of the pre-order stuff they give you, it's going to be inconsequential, especially if it's like those sorts of like digital jumpstart packs they usually give you. It's like, yeah, sure, those bonuses probably only save you like 5% of the time, right? They're really not going to get you very far. Either that, or they're like so amazingly busted that you're probably not going to use them anyway because you don't want to ruin the game unless, yeah, that's fine if you're fine using them. But also, usually they also make them available for purchase later. Not all the time, but I feel like most of the time. You know, digital pre-order bonuses, they usually make them available. Either as like some sort of overall pack or like piecemeal, something like that. So in the end, it's like, sure, you can get it now, but eventually it'll come there, you know. In addition to getting that pre-order bonus, you can also enjoy probably a discounted rate on the game anyway, because it'll have been out for a while. That's how I usually look at it. I think the favorite way I've seen someone kind of handle that pre-order thing was Sunset Overdrive, actually. So they did that thing where you know, various stores would give you different pre-order packs, like a different costume and a different weapon that you could get. But after, like, I want to say 6 months or several months after Sunset Overdrive came out, it's like I got like a private message from the console that kind of essentially said, "Hey, thanks for playing Sunset Overdrive and sticking with us this whole time. Here's like an Xbox code that gets you a bunch of items and stuff." And I punched the code in, and lo and behold, it just happened to be every single pre-order pack they just mashed together. It was kind of nice, right? It's like a little, hey, here, thanks for supporting us. Here, we'll give you this pack. It was originally a bonus for people who bought it early, but since you stuck it out with us, we'll just give it to you. Yeah, it was nice. I kind of appreciated that. Yeah, like the Forza loyalty bonus, right? Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, yeah, when the Forza hub kind of tracked that for you, right? It's like you build up your loyalty level and get like a weekly stipend of credits and some extra cars and maybe cosmetics depending on what games you played. It's kind of nice, though. At least in that case, I could probably see that becoming untenable, right? Imagine a decade from now if they're still doing like Forza, and they still had the Forza loyalty bonus. Anyone who was playing since the very start get themselves a pretty fair leg up, right? Imagine, especially the credits payout. Oh my god! After a certain, I guess they had to cut it off after a certain point, right? I did appreciate it for the time they had it, though. Circuit de Catalunya. That would be you. Not surprised. Should have probably hit the brakes earlier. I'm gonna do that. Take a mulligan on that one. Jeez. Brake line is kind of deceptive. You kind of want to brake a little ahead if you want to not blast through the curve. Of course, it might be because of the car I'm driving. That's why brake line is so different. Okay. This is what happens when I look behind on a curve. I forget that I'm still turning. Be nice to have this UI for Horizon with the split times and how far ahead. Yeah, it would be nice. wouldn't mind putting out a little more extra information out there for anyone who might want to, take it in. At the very least, you could use it as an indicator of how close they are. Well, I guess given how rubber banding works, maybe they left it out so they could obfuscate how much they rubber band the opponents. Yeah, we're just gonna roll with that one. That was a good turn, apparently. Oh man, 3-lap track. Each lap takes about 2 minutes over here in this hypercar. Wow. 70 laps of it on F1, huh? That's more true to life, isn't it? Who's a joker to decide to let people drive hypercars on this track, huh? Oh, that would be me. Because I chose the hypercar. And everyone else chose hypercars to go along with it. And those street courses are just not suited for F1 cars. I overshot that one. We'll keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Staying within the track is not my strong suit. Right into the sand again. Alright, 33% of the way there. Still a little more. Another 2 minutes. Wow, split time's only like half a second. It's kind of nuts. I don't know. Man. Sometimes the end of race times kind of astounds me, right? It'll be like, it feels like you're only like a short distance away from the car ahead of you, but you finish and you see like the complete rate, the total race time. Turns out to be something like a whole 3 or 4 seconds difference, and it makes sense when you count it, but boy, it sure doesn't feel like it in the heat of the moment. Be nice if they implemented a create a team feature from F1 games. This way you could have proper GT3 and GT3 seasons. I think that would require them to implement drivers. Which, they have racing suits based on people. I saw them in the shop, but what I can see, it doesn't really seem like you do much with the people aspect of, apart from, like, say, selecting your body type and then selecting a suit. Which, hey, that's as much as this game requires, but I could see that being a direction Forza could take, right? Just build a team. Build a team of racers. That is probably something that could work both within Horizon and Motorsport, actually, right? For different reasons, I imagine. Right. Yes, in Motorsport, it would be, your regular old team of racers. And Horizon could be like a motley band of people. We're gonna work together to go to the top, or something like that. I don't know. I'm still workshopping this in my head. Like work well in the Horizon with the JGTC. They have enough JDM cars for it. Yeah. I mean, they could do it like you know, every good old TV series. You know, you build up your motley band of racers, and they all drive different types of cars that reflect their personalities. So you know, the tank of the crew would be driving like a big old truck, and the speedster of the crew would be driving like a hypercar. The old guy would be driving like a muscle, and of course the main character would be driving whatever the hottest car is when the game is released. And I don't know. I guess the the stay-at-home parent could drive your sedan, your regular old car that you see out in the streets. The extreme stunts lover could drive the buggy. A lot like the rivals were in Horizon 1. Good characters and each with unique cars. Yeah, like that. You know, they even had like a little bit of backstory to them. It's kind of cool, right? And didn't do much outside of their little. Oh hey, where does this take place at? I don't know. I can't tell. Oh wait, could it be Virginia? I think it's Virginia, right? It's probably Virginia. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Race team for Horizon 6 or Motorsport. Oh, maybe not the current Motorsport coming out, because it seems that one's set in stone. But, you know, like Forza Motorsport Reboot 2, maybe. Or maybe they could, like, make that its own series. Shame Forza Street's already been used for that mobile game. Feels like Forza Street would be a good name for, like, a race team type of Forza game. Alright, screw it. I'm gonna cheat like there's no tomorrow. Alright. Hey, get out of my way. No bumping. Only I get to bump people, because I'm the player. Storm type of thing with the Baja region. Nice selection of off-roaders and stuff. That'd be pretty cool. Motorstorm. I'm ashamed to admit that I've never played a Motorstorm game, but you know what? Maybe that could be something I swing back around to. I have a PS3 kind of sitting in the closet. It's been a while since I took it out, but yes, maybe if I find Motorstorm somewhere, maybe I'll be willing to give it a go. I did hear the Motorstorm games are like pretty good. There's one I remember especially. I think there's one especially that kind of focused on like natural disasters and stuff. So like the ground shift and break apart as you were playing it. I remember seeing videos of that, and that seemed like pretty neat. A lot of off-roaders in Horizon 5 that just don't get used. Be a good opportunity to build them. Yeah, that's true. Although personally, when it comes to like Forza Horizon 5 expansions, kind of hoping the second one is just like an urban expansion. I think I mentioned this already, but you know, there's like it feels like there's kind of a lack of good urban areas in Horizon 5 to race around. So it'd be kind of neat if they, Horizon 5 just makes a whole city for you to race in, right? Just give us a fictitious city. I agree, big city is needed. Yes. Man, just give us something like a modern type of city with skyscrapers and maybe, your highway loop. Basically do it like one of the, open world Need for Speed maps, right? Do it like Rockport or Fairhaven or whatever the name of the city in Carbon was, and Underground 2, I guess. But yeah, we'll do it like one of those. I'd be completely down for that. Of course, I'm not necessarily saying make it Need for Speed, but I'm just saying give us a big city, right? Give us a big city like, yeah. Oh man, rooftop races? Yeah. That could be a showcase right there. So just like stick you in the buggy and then just go race against like, I don't know, other special vehicles in a rooftop rumble. And you could play Rooftop Run from Sonic Unleashed. And it'll be all good from there. Yeah. Now it's a race. I'm kidding about the Rooftop Run, of course. But everything else. Or if they wanted to take it like one step further, you could do it like split second. And just have like special showcase events where like, pretend like it's a movie set and just have stuff blow up and collapse around you while you're trying to drive through a track. I know someone has already done a blueprint like this, but they have one set in a multi-story car park. Ooh, I think that was like one of the featured event lab things in Forza Horizon 5. Yeah, I did do that one, and yeah, that was pretty cool. They managed to build a whole car park, complete with the the spiral ramp and everything. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Right? Yeah, give us something like that. Streets, buildings, car parks. Maybe a harbor. I guess an airport, because it feels like these sorts of open world driving games always has an airport in them. Jeez. You like the film set idea? Yeah. What if they made that a Horizon story? It would be a fun way to mix things up, right? I know, what is it? Horizon 4 kind of had that stunt double story, which was pretty cool, but it could punch it up a bit with some set pieces. Although that might be a bit more effort than they might want to do for a DLC story, I guess. I don't know. It would be cool though. At least it would be cool for me. I would appreciate it.
Way to go. You're getting to be a regular
Sweet.
on the podium.
That was the end of the race. Alright, cool. Yeah, look at me. I'm the best. No one's ever gonna keep me down. Give me my creds. Oh, I'm so close to another level. Wow. Alright. Going next, another 1,400 points, and I'll be moving on to the next championship. So where do I want to go? Hey, Formula E. I don't have any Formula E cars, though. No Mercedes-Benz, apparently. And no Vintage Sport. Oh, hey, I could do Sport Compact. Or modern SUV. No, I'm doing compact.
These top-tier sport compacts cram big performance into a small space. Built by manufacturers from across the globe. These cars are often the fastest version of a model. Besides a healthy dose of speed, they have aggressive suspension for cornering and body kits to fight air resistance. Think short, fast, and fun.
I do like that sound. I like how it's plus 15 credits and another plus 15% credits if you're playing on Long Beach. Understood, we have rally cars and stuff on here with no dirt or off-roading. That is an interesting idea, yes. Hardly call the BRZ a compact. Oh, I would hardly call it BRZ. Alright. That feels like it would be a meaningful way to kind of extend Forza, I guess. Homestead. Oh, it's in Miami, I think. That sign has any indication. Florida. I've only been to Florida once. It was a long time ago. I actually don't recall very much about it. I always liked the Road America track. Ah, that's cool. Sunoco. Ah, man. I know that gas station well. Oh, dang. I'm getting pushed the heck around. These AI drivers do not like the turn I'm taking, so I will get out of their way. Ah, someone's driving a Red Bull car. They're not flying though. They're just driving on the track. I'm guessing wings aren't exactly race regulation. You just imagine middle of a race car just sprouts wings and flies away. At that point, I probably pinched myself to see how I was dreaming. I think my biggest memory of Florida was that time my family and I went to Animal Kingdom in Disney World. That was like a whole day trip up by itself. And we spent an entire day just in Animal Kingdom. I don't even remember what we did there. I just remember meeting a lot of animal characters from the Disney movies and going on a safari? Well, it was a pseudo safari, I guess. And you know, by the time we were done, it was like almost the end of the day, and I think my parents floated the idea, "Hey, you want to go to Epcot too?" I think most of us were like, "Nah." So we just went home. We didn't really go back any future days because I think we were all spent after just spending one day in that section. That was cool seeing animals and stuff. Yeah, it was definitely cool. I don't remember much about the animals. I just remember it was cool. Yeah. It was like a large-scale zoo. Yeah. It's like a zoo with rides and attractions and mascots of the Disney animal characters. Oh, I guess the other thing I remember about it was like, you know, we didn't buy souvenirs in the park, which, you know, now that I'm older, I'm like, I would agree with that because, you know, they charge you out the wazoo for stuff in the park, so I think what we did was just to stop by like a small store like a little ways out, and we just bought like Disneyland souvenirs from there, and that was just as good for us. But yeah. Well, I went to Florida only once. I think my younger brother and sister also went as part of like the band trip because I was out of school by then and they were still in it, so they got to go to Disneyland and So I don't think they said much about the trip, but they said they had fun. So hey, yeah, good for them. Souvenir places are such a rip-off in parks. Yeah, they are. Right? It's like, you go to like one of the stands, like, hey, you get your drink in a souvenir cup, but it'll cost you a whole lot more for a plastic cup. Probably wouldn't fetch much outside the park, but you're in the park, you can't exit the park, and obviously you're dying of thirst, and oh my god, you need sustenance right now, but you could also use something to remember the park by, so why not kill two birds with one stone? Quench your thirst and get a souvenir. You'll have to pay out the nose for it, but hey. Yeah. We had more of a rip-off in the US with the whole adding tax afterward thing. Yeah. I guess it would be nice if they, just calculated a tax and kind of just stuck it in the price up front, so that what you see is what you get. But probably take a while to get people to move in that direction. So I always hope. It's either that or like just move to a state where you don't have to pay income tax, right? I think Delaware doesn't have taxes for certain things. I want to say some other states have that too. Yeah, the system where you just add the tax to the price. That would be fine. That would be cool with that. Since most stores, they print out the price label anyway, and put it under the thing. Might as well just add the tax into it. It feels like they're making slow progress in like the price tags too, right? Think at least in the U.S. You still see like a bunch of stores still like to do the thing where the price tag is like a sticker. It's like on the shelf, on like the shelving below the product that's usually there. You see like a few stores in the U.S. start doing like electronic tags, which I imagine is a lot more economical. Imagine probably complicated too, like if the system goes down, suddenly your tags are like all but useless. But I don't know. It's got to be nice. It's got to be nice to not have to like take a whole giant roll of stickers and then do part of your shift just swapping out all the price stickers for different price stickers. Right, it's just like, get the electronic tag and just update it on the fly as you need it. Yeah, get this car. Or, if you can't do that, I've seen some stores do it too, where, well, this one's been around for a while, but they'll have like, a plastic sleeve, where they have like, a paper with like the price tag in it, and you swap out the paper. Probably, it's still sort of wasteful because you're still like using paper and what have you, but at the very least it's, you're not blowing adhesive and making the shelves all gummy with the leftover residue and all that stuff. Used to do that at the supermarket, making stuff down with the day's date on. I see. Yeah. Forgot to pay attention to the race intro, so this is like a real nice looking place though. Yeah. Real touristy. Oh man. I gotta get out from behind that car if I want to get ahead. Take the curve. Bob and weave. Oh no, I'm spinning out. Busy pop. I love that sound design. That little sort of echoey sound when you enter a tunnel. It's like, yeah, That's where it's at. Used to mark stuff down for this regular customer, and he would give me a tip at Christmas for helping to save money. Ah, man, that's gotta feel real good, right? It's like, you know, that kind of rolls back around to like that whole being recognized bit, right? It's like, you know, you meet each other, you know, it feels like maybe you don't interact that often, and your interactions probably say pretty samey throughout, but you know, when they kind of acknowledge it, and, you know, maybe do you a little favor, do you a solid, it feels good. Yeah, every little bit helps. I agree. Every little bit helps, especially if you're like on a pension. I guess at my parents' house, they have a mail carrier. He's been like delivering the mail to their place for like, you know, pretty long time. He's been around, right? He's a pretty young fella, but he's been delivering mail to their place for a while. You know, at Christmas, my parents would buy like a gift card and, you know, just give it to him. Just, well, thanks. Hey, thanks for bringing the mail to us every day. And I'm sure he appreciates something like that. Just a little nod, just a little thanks for keeping society running. It's always nice. You know, back when I was young, when I wake up early for school, so it's early enough to watch the garbage collectors go by and just throw the garbage in. I'll just, you know, some days if I see them, I'd just open the window and just wave at them, and they wave back. I'm sure they probably had fun seeing this kid just, hey, you people I recognize, I will say hi to you. Imagine they go through hell with some customers. Yeah, public-facing jobs in general, I imagine, you know, they've seen their fair share of jerks. Fair share of people who lack empathy or understanding and think that all public workers are like robots or sounding boards for them to go off on. Yeah, they put up with a lot, so they definitely deserve respect, a lot of respect. Yeah. That's why I always feel like you know, even if you know, unless like a worker does like something truly egregious, I'll just, you know, just go on with my day, right? As long as they do their thing and they're you know, they aren't like completely bad about it, I'm cool. So I know they go through a lot of crap. The least I can do is just not make their day worse, at the very least. I can hope I do that much for them. They wouldn't let our bidman wear shorts when he had that. Ah, jeez. Yeah. Those kinds of stories always baffle me, right? You always see those. I've read about them over the years, right? People, you know, guys, who like want to wear shorts, and then the higher ups are like, nah, we ain't let you do that. Which seems health and safety, which is paradoxical almost, right? You imagine pants would be like a heat hazard, right? You could overheat, you could suffer like, I don't know, dehydration, heat stroke. Something shorts would help alleviate. So my favorite stories of that ilk, right, are the ones where like, all right, okay, the guy's just like, all right, if I can't wear pants, well, screw it, I'm gonna wear a skirt then. It's like, screw it, I'm gonna wear a skirt, right? Because those are uniform regulations, so I'm gonna wear a skirt. I always love seeing articles like that. Oh, one guy took to wearing a high-vis kilt me for a high-vis coat. Yeah, something like that, right? You know, your garment Your one-legged pant, as some people call it. And an extra 1,500 credits. Wow, Forza Edition car.
You'll never get better just racing weaker
Okay, you know what?
opponent.
Don't share that message again. I don't care. If I want to change the difficulty, then I'll change the difficulty. Right. It's like Whew, we're going to Dubai. I was here last week. There's huge uproar here. Some schools have banned wearing of shorts, and instead the guys have to wear skirts. Hey, you know what? The saying go any port in the storm, but yeah, it would be nice if they just just allowed shorts, right? Just do that, right? It's like I doubt looking nice would trump the comfort of people, but I guess in some cases it would. But yeah, my favorite of that is always just like, yeah, well, we only said skirts are part of the uniform, so nothing in the rule book says that boys can't wear skirts. That's always fun. And eventually, sometimes you see the happy ending where it's like, all right, fine, the school or the organization relents, so like, all right, fine, you can wear shorts, I guess. Although, to be honest, if I had the option, I would pretty much like wear a skirt 24/7. I don't know. A little comfy. A little comfy, I would say. Imagine the only time I'd like switch to pants is maybe during the winter, right? So when you kind of want that warmth. But rest of the time, yeah. Give me a loose flowing garment any day. I guess even in the winter, you could probably like get tights or something like that too, right? Imagine, I've read they've made tights that are like thick enough that they could keep you warm. Kind of like the same way long johns work, right? It's like the form-fitting type of fleece that retains heat even in the cold. Thermals and stuff. Indeed, yes, quite so. It was like that old-timey joke, you see the person in like the fleece onesie, and they'd be freaking out as if they were like completely naked, because technically that's underwear. Alright, I'm gonna try that again. Alright. Probably took that curve slower than I had to, but I'm not. If you haven't already told, I'm not the best at judging these curves, especially in a sim racer. In doubt, Under Armour cold gear. Yeah. It's any sort of undershirt. At least for me. any sort of shirt works, right? Sometimes if I don't have like the fleece undershirt, I'll just wear a t-shirt underneath. Because it's still a layer, maybe cotton isn't quite as heat retentive as like say fleece is, but still gets a layer of fabric. Helps some bit. Although, yeah, I guess I hear Under Armour. I usually associate it with like workout gear, kind of stuff that I would see during summer that soaks up all the sweat and stuff. Which I know they do that too, but I imagine cold gear is just like that, except designed for cold weather. Gear for the cold and hit gear to keep you cool. Yeah, that checks out. I have a brother who likes to work out a lot. Like, he'll usually post on social media about how he's gone on a run, he's doing workouts and all that good stuff, and yeah, he's definitely that type of person you see in like workout gear, like maybe 50% of the time you see him. It worked perfect when we worked. You know what? I had not thought of that, but yes, that's also a good point. Yes, if you're gonna be in a fursuit, you're gonna be in a big heat retentive thing. You probably want some sort of clothing that soaks up a ton of sweat. Make sure that doesn't get all over the inside of the suit. Because imagine make things less. It'll make it less of a pain to clean out, I imagine. Yeah, any sort of full body costume, fursuits, like heavy armor cosplay, things like that. Yeah, you definitely want some sort of like sweat absorbing clothing on you. Alright. Like, Yas Marina Circuit. Get where that is. Ooh, we're driving at night too. Woo! Is this what race day feels like? Or when you're a racer, just race all day, race all night? Maybe a break in between. I don't know, I'm assuming they don't make you race 24/7, of course, unless you're doing specifically an event like that, but still. Abu Dhabi, I remember Richard Hammond going around here in a new Porsche 918. I see. Perfect pass, you say? Ah, man. Whoops. Sorry. I cut you off. Nothing personnel. I guess I didn't cut them off. That's okay. I will draft them. Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, look at that. The only good pass I've made all night. Everything else. Perfect pass. Right, sure game. Alright, we'll try that again. We do have a lot of track left to catch up on, so I probably shouldn't worry too much. Should've got a slingshot skill for that. Yeah. Imagine if they had like triple pass and kangaroo and hard charger crash landing. Smack this. Oh man, there was like one skill in Horizon 3 that was like very, very rare, because I think there was like only one object in the map that could potentially trigger that skill. Fruit bowl for when we hit one of the fruit stalls, yeah. Too bad there weren't any cabbage stands. Ah, there we go. National Bank of Abu Dhabi. Yeah, right there. There it is. Richard Mill. Oh, I think I took this a bit too fast. Alright. What do you think about it? Wasn't there like a giant banana or something like that in Horizon 3? There was a giant something that you could hit for a skill. No wonder the cops drive Lambos over there with all that money going around. I imagine fancy police cars are there more for show than they are for anything else, right? Not really there to like actually do chases and stuff like that. Imagine, you know, with how expensive those sorts of cars are, you don't want to wreck them. They're just there to flex, right? I guess if you're gonna go and buy something like a Lambo or a Ferrari or a Porsche, you're probably not buying it to be functional. You're just buying it to flex. I think I read a story about a Ferrari once, right? It's like, cause I read that like Ferrari's like very selective on who they sell their cars to. So like I think because one particular person brought a Ferrari, and then they repainted the Ferrari blue, and apparently I think I read somewhere that they wrecked it also, and Ferrari just basically put them on a blacklist and prevented them from buying Ferraris anymore. Yeah. Yeah, they're very elitist. Yeah, I can imagine, right? So those supercar snobs either buying it because, you know, they have money to burn, or they're like, yeah. Well, I guess if you're like actually like a gearhead, you probably wouldn't go for like a luxury car. You probably go for more like one of those more technical cars, or like an old-timey car so you can really mess with the mechanics and the insides of it all. It's like you'll get blacklisted by Rolls-Royce if you mod their cars anyway. Ah, yeah, I can see that happening, right? It's like, yeah, you don't deface their product. You will not drag our name through the mud like that. No. When I think it comes to high-end dealers, the only one I've seen in person was like a Ferrari dealer. I think that probably says a lot about the area I lived in back then. just a Ferrari dealer, just, you know, just in the middle of the neighborhood. It's like, yep, is that kind of neighborhood. Super bougie. You know what? I think after the stream, I'm just gonna go on Google Maps and see, just put out a list of all the luxury car dealers, just for fun. I'm not gonna, just to see where they are. It's like maybe get a good idea. Just hey, this is where all the high class people live. The way I see it, Ferraris are mainly for show-offs who want to flex on the street. Oh yeah, for sure. They're definitely not for people who want to get from point A to point B. If you want to do that, you're obviously going to get something else. Ooh, Long Beach. California, right? Let's say California. I think I saw this track last week too, and I'm going to say it's California then as well. Oh yeah, right there. Bank of California Incorporated. There we go. Confirmed. Cali, baby. Man. You know, when it comes to like TV shows in the US, it feels like there's like two places that the majority of them take, especially the primetime shows. They either take place in California or they take place in New York. It's like very rarely do you see them go anywhere else in US primetime. Right, maybe some of them might go to Washington DC if they're like a political drama or something like that, but I want to say there's like only one show I've seen that took place in like Philadelphia mainly. Never been big into Ferraris. There's only a few models that I really like. Yeah. You know, as someone who's apart from the Ferrari dealership, the closest I've seen Ferraris is in Forza. I feel like the design of Lambos kind of appeals to me more. I can't say what it is about them. I think it's about Ferraris. I'm not sure what I can say about them, but yeah. The visual design of Ferraris is not my thing, right? If someone likes them, that's cool, but I don't know. For some reason, I kind of like the style of Lambos. Yeah, real pageantry with Lambo when you arrive somewhere with those scissor doors. Yeah. Yeah. Any door that isn't your bog standard swing out door that you see on every car, or the sliding door that you see on vans. It's gonna turn some heads. Something like that, or like the DeLorean door, just like flips up from the bottom. And when the doors are open, kind of looks like a car with wings, except it's not. Gullwing. Yeah, okay. Today I learned there's the kind of doors DeLorean has. It's a gullwing door. SLS AMG. Yeah. Hello, oh my god. This actually reminds me of like a really, really old game I played. I think it was on the Sega Master System. It was a game called Action Fighter. Well, it was something like a Spy Hunter copy. You're driving down the road, you're shooting enemy cars, and you gotta fight bosses at the end. You start out as a motorcycle. You collect your ABCD parts, and you transform to a car. And you collect 2 more parts, and your wings come on, and suddenly it turns into a shmup, where you can like drop bombs and stuff. Yeah, the Sega truck to get upgrades, right? You get rockets, shoot rockets, and then you can multi-kill people. And yeah. Ah man. Yep, bike then car then plane, indeed. Oh boy, I sunk a fair bit of time in that car. Of course, I was like elementary school when I played it, so obviously my kid brain could not wrap my head around how to defeat things, I usually lose around stage 3 because, yeah, I would die too many times and time would run out, and then I'd run out of lives. I'm sure if I played it today, I'd probably clear it pretty easily, but, you know, back then it was a fair time waster. Oh, yeah, lots of flags with weird cats would appear in the ground. Yeah, yeah, they would. Oh, man. That sure was a game. It's like, alright, sure, your next target. You gotta fight these 3 submarines. Why? I don't know. Just go bomb them. Whatever. Alright, next you gotta fight these 6 tanks. Why? They're trying to kill you. Always fun to bomb the regular traffic. It's fun just like dropping bombs on random buildings. I've seen like the explosions pop up. Although, yeah, I guess the thing that I the thing I didn't like about it, you know, the missile power, right? The missile power up's like it's bonkers, it's absurd, because it just pierces through enemies and just mass kills things like no tomorrow. And of course, if you die, like any good old-fashioned video game, you lose your power-up, so now you gotta replay this section with your dinky little gun. You can barely keep up with the enemies that they're throwing at you. So, yeah. Those 2 cruise liner ships took a lot of bombs. Yeah. Guessing those were like a later stage boss. I don't think I ever got past stage 3. Of course, again, that was one when I was a kid, so I'm sure if I revisited Action Fighter today, I'd probably do better at it. I'm not gonna say I'd beat it, but I'd definitely get farther. I'd imagine, you know, if I play in the state that like does save states, too. Oh god, yeah, the side swipe with the ambulances. Yeah, if they knock you into a wall, jeez, yeah. Wow, I forgot about that even, but yeah,
What is this?
Yeah, that would be annoying. Jeez.
Either way, this finish has done wonders for your point totals. Good work.
I got all the points, baby. Oh, sweet. Since I was at Long Beach, I got more credits. It's only like 1,500 credits, but still, money's money. Yeah. 30,000 credits for Formula E. Yes, don't mind if I do.
The Breakout Championship is yours. You're another step closer to winning the Forza Drivers' Cup. You can now go for the next challenge, the Evolution Championship.
Spent a lot of time playing that in Enduro Racer. Oh, man. I admit, I'm not familiar with Enduro Racer, but the way it sounds, yeah, it sounds like one of those types of games where you do like those 24-hour type of races. Of course, they're not like 24 hours in game, but I imagine they're lengthy races.
But that only means the other drivers will be gunning for you. And the Evolution Championship is where the pursuit of the cup is going to really start challenging you.
You don't say. I'm gonna do these little challenges first. Hey, look at that, Top Gear Police Car Bowling. First round of car bowling will give you a 4-Crown Victoria. It's a favorite as a police car in the US and Canada. Let's do it. And watch me not drift through these.
Bowling with a car? Come on, that's easy, right? You just want to make the car as wide as possible, and how it's wide is when it's sideways. So bowling, if you're gonna bowl, first of all, you need speed, and you need to be completely sideways.
I agree with that. Of course, what is how you say? In theory, great idea. For me, in practice. How do I drift? I only need 145,000 points, but if I need like... okay. Nope. Oh, jeez, okay. I think it might have to do something with me, Wow. Alright, you know what? Screw it. We're just going plow right through him. Whoa, like that. Ooh. They're like the ring challenges in Team Sonic Racing, right? Ah, okay. Oh man. It would be great if I hit any cars with them, pins with them. Oh well. Ooh. Okay. 60,000 points to go. I should have gone for the other one that had the gold pins in them. Oh well. Yeah. Whew, I actually felt good about that one. Alright, another 17,000 points. Boom. Boom. Oh, I missed that one. That's okay. Alright. Yeah, I got this. Oh, man. I'll just, run through them like a normal person. Bop. 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 Final Frenzy. Yeah. It's one for the... This is just books. It's got that coffee break vibe from Gran Turismo. And I always enjoy it when you know, racing game mixes things up, gives you you know, your non-standard racing events. Like, here's a little fun mini game you can play. It's like bowling, or say like a passing challenge or a drift challenge, or okay, why'd you? Oh, okay, because of this. Yeah, got myself my own Crown Victoria Interceptor. Be nice if they brought back the car football. That was in Motorsport 4. Yeah. Give us more mini games. Let's see, a racing. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. A Porsche 911 GT1 against a
How do you
field
figure out which driver's the best?
of
Simple.
Porsche cars.
You put them all in the same car and point them to the track. Now, the first one who crosses the finish line won't do it because of a better engine or tires. It'll be from raw skill.
Yeah. It's like,
If you take the car out of the equation and everybody's in the same equipment, then you have to make sure that you're better prepared than everybody else. You have to know the track better, you have to know the car better. As a teammate, you compare yourself directly in exactly the same equipment to the person sat next to you. So we look at data, we see where one person's better, we see where we can improve somewhere else, and you just have to
work better than the guy next to you. Yeah. You level lock everyone's gear, right? And it comes down to skill. It's like, you know, it's like those card game tournaments where you can't bring your own deck. You just have to build one on site from whatever booster packs they give you. And it's not like completely the same thing because RNG can still factor into those, but it's kind of like that, right? But I imagine that something like a sealed draft would provide its own set of challenges, right? Knowing what cards to hang out, knowing how to build a deck on the fly, and try to find stuff that synergizes together as best you can. 911 Gustavon is a great car. Ugh. I look forward to winning this car when I pass this event. I feel like these special events usually award you with the car in question when you finish it. Yeah, I took him on the inside, baby. And you have to do that much bumping to get past him. It was one of your go-to S1 cars in Horizon 4, was it? Yeah. Maybe if I return to Horizon 4, I will give this a whirl then. Still need to do the Fortune Island DLC for Horizon 4. I got that on the back burner for now. Maybe I will revisit it when I feel like returning to Horizon 4 back to the UK. Speaking of old Horizons, I downloaded Horizon 3 briefly just to do a little nostalgia trip through it, and I explored the entire map. Just it was fun, and I had a bit of a sobering moment when I decided to check like the Forza-thon section. And it was just like some along the lines of like, hey, yeah, we're packing up, we're seeing you out. Right, and you saw like nothing but an expanse of sand and like a car just like driving away, and like, yeah, that feels like an appropriate send off. End of support for Forza Horizon 3 is like, yeah, a little sobering. Yes, I sure had some fun times in that game. CLK GTR are two of the best S1 cars of old school supercars. Ah, yeah. Alright. I'll keep that in mind. Check out this one and the other one. 911 Gustavon, or... Surfer's Paradise in 3. That's the reason why I want an urban expansion for 5, because I just want something along the lines of Surfer's Paradise. Give us, the modern city with the skyscrapers and the buildings and the trams in the middle and the beach on one side and, I just want to have that feeling. Maybe multiply it by like however big the DLC is. That'd be great. Oh man. Surfer's Paradise. Many fond memories. Like Edinburgh, but much bigger. Yes. In fact, I could even do it like, they have an urban expansion. You could have the modern zone and the historical zone and whatever other zones they want to throw in for city open world. Oh, man. Alright. Lap 3 of 5. Still got a ways to go. Ah, jeez. I'm gonna be here for 12 and a half minutes. big city. I immediately thought of Empire City from Need for Speed 3. Yeah. Something like that. Yes, racer-friendly city. Part of me enjoys the fictitious city names that you see in games sometimes, right? It's like Need for Speed had a whole host of them, right? You had the ones on top of my head I remember: Seacrest, Fairhaven, Rockport, was the Tri-County. The way they sound close enough to real cities, but you know they're not. You know, they're loosely based enough on whatever city they're inspired by, but distinct enough. And it's not just in racing games either. You know, it's like GTA has some fun city names too. Like you have Vice City, you have Liberty City, and you have like the San Andreas set of cities. Los Santos, Santa Vieiro, I want to say, and oh, Bayview, yeah, that was another one, right? Just like, it's just a city enough name that you could at least buy that it was a city, right? Need for Speed Underground too. Yeah. Since that was like the first time Need for Speed actually went open world, I do remember losing a bit of time in that. You know. Setting aside, I was able to, endure everything else about that game right there. They're pretty blatant advertisement placement, right? It's like your communicator was directly a cellular product that they offered back in the day, which amusingly enough I don't think is in business anymore, actually. Midnight Club, managed to get the real city names. Well, yeah. Probably depending on what they were going for, I suppose. No, I guess if, yeah, depending on the kind of game you want to make, it's like, maybe something like Need for Speed, perhaps, wants to do the fictitious city, so they kind of, don't want to throw any sort of real life city under the bus, but Midnight Club, that's about the racing, right? So maybe that's not quite as much of a stigma to it, I guess. I always felt like that was like an amusing contrast between Marvel and DC as well, right? It's like, I feel like Marvel, at least, doesn't quite hesitate to use like real life cities, right? Always, New York especially, right? Like a lot of stuff happens around New York. Whereas I feel like, well, DC, obviously, they got Gotham, they got Metropolis, they have Star City. I feel like they don't venture into like real life cities all that much. Although amusing, I think I read somewhere that people mostly considered Gotham City to be like in New Jersey and Metropolis to be like in Delaware, I think, which I always found amusing. It's like, sure, we'll go with that, right? Just Crimeville, USA in New Jersey, just. I always liked the architecture in Gotham, especially the Tim Burton films. Yeah, they always had the Tim Burton style. That's just just the kind of gothic style. Just just out of place just enough that kind of unsettles you, right? The way Gotham in general, like, always depicted it to be sort of this kind of noir type town with the really oppressive looking buildings looking around with the gargoyles and old deco style everywhere. Huge cat head in Batman Returns used to freak me out. Yeah. Yeah. I forget which of the old Batman films was. I think it was like the introduction of Catwoman, right? It's like what was it, that one lady gets pushed out the window, and then she's supposedly dead, and suddenly like a bunch of alley cats come up to her, and start swarming her, and suddenly she like she's actually like not actually dead, and then she goes and becomes Catwoman, I think. That's how film Catwoman came to be anyway. Oh, that's the one. I see. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was kind of weirded out by that scene too. Her and the Penguin, yeah. Man, those old school Batman films did have their share of freaky moments. The one that had the Riddler too, where he was like taking over Gotham with his mind control device that he shoved on everyone's head. The way they depicted it definitely unsettled me when I was a kid. I'll say that much. Oh, and then there was that scene with Jim Carrey was so good as the yeah. That role was kind of tailor-made for him, wasn't it? Definitely, his acting style definitely lent itself well to the Riddler. So it's always the kind of thing with celebrities when they become so iconic as your comic book character that eventually the comic book appearance begins taking on. Really like Two-Face in that one too. Yeah. I still remember the ending of that movie where it was like Robin and Batgirl or someone else was like they were like in two separate chambers, and it was like the Riddler I think was like, you can only save one of them but not both, and then Batman's like, screw you, and goes saves both of them anyway, and then they're like on some sort of ledge, right? And Two-Face kind of has, well, yeah, in the movie he kind of has that compulsion where he has to keep flipping a coin to decide what he wants to do, and then Batman finally defeats him by when Two-Face flips a coin in the air, Batman just throws a bunch more coins in the air, and Two-Face is like, oh no, I gotta grab my coin, and then he goes and falls into the pit, right? And of course, the final piece of irony, the coin lands in his head, and it turns out to be the side that lets him do whatever he needed to do. Yeah.
Autocross teaches you where to look, and you will continue to actually improve because in the beginning, that first time, you're going to be looking at those pylons that are almost right in front of you. The 10th time, you'll be smart enough to be looking at those pylons 2 corners ahead. So you'll start to learn to expand your visual, and it'll learn to be precise, and you'll...
Scared to death when Riddler poked his head through the cell door out there. Oh yeah, that scene too, right. Wait, so we've been told who Batman is. Could you tell us? Yes, Batman is me! Yeah. Yeah, I definitely was unsettled by that scene as well. Yeah. I think the thing about the old Batman movies was they kept killing the villains, so 4 films in, they kind of ran out of iconic people from Batman's Rogues Gallery to represent, and yeah. I just feel like superhero movies, nuts. Need to do that less often. They need to be willing to, not stuff too many villains in one movie, and 2, perhaps deal with them in a way that doesn't involve killing them all the time, right? It looked pretty creepy after his machine exploded and he kind of looked melted. Why can't I just kill you? Yeah. You compare that with like the later live action Batman films where you had Mr. Freeze saying "Ice to meet you." I do remember people being really mad about the way they portrayed Bane in those movies, right? Because, they turned him into like a generic dumb muscle, from later on. It wouldn't be later on until I learned, no. Bane is not supposed to be dumb muscle. He's actually like, pretty intelligent guy. Later Batman works would make sure to, include that part, right? You play Arkham Asylum, you're met with a Bane who can actually communicate with you. And, he's like a pretty cool fella. And you know what? I found that pretty neat. Yeah, 1995. Insert rapidly aging meme here. That's always funny when someone says that. It's like, what are you talking about? The 90s were only like 20 years ago, right? It's like, Right. It's like you decide to fire up a radio station. You, I guess, go on Spotify or something like that. It's like, all right, now we're gonna play some dad rock, and then they play Foo Fighters, and then you're going, wait, oh wait. And, they play Offspring. Hold on. It's like that Bowling for Soup song, 1985. Stacy, Madonna, bringing back Nirvana. There was U2, and I forget what the next line was, but it was music still on MTV. Her 2 kids in high school, they tell her that she's uncool because she's so preoccupied with 1985. I've not heard Bowling for Soup for such a long time. Yeah. I used to listen to that song a lot. It's like one of the MP3s I downloaded. I just listened to it on my MP3 player because it was really catchy. Back then, I was a kid and was like, look at this person, so out of touch with reality. And now I'm like, it's like that Simpsons video that's floating around, right? It's like, I used to be with it, and then they changed what it was, and now I'm no longer with it, and what's it seems weird and scary. It'll happen to you. It's like that. I used to play them a lot in Carrying TV. Yeah. Nice. There was another song I used to listen a lot. I think it was what's the name again? Dang it, I suddenly forgot. Well, if it was important, it'll probably come back to mind. We just got played to death. Did it now? Evolution open. Bring any vehicle you want and dominate the track. Simple as that. don't mind if I do.
This one is an open race. Bring any vehicle you want and dominate the track. Simple as that.
Let's see. I was hoping I could. Oh, there we go. That whole era seemed to be dominated by pop punk bands. And I think about it, yeah. Guess you could classify the music I listen to then as that. Either that or like alternative rock, which I think I said was into back in the day, right? Everyone asked me who my favorite groups were. I'd say like Foo Fighters, The Offspring, and like, right, yes. Kind of like punk / alt rock. So then I guess I have to admit, a lot of my musical tastes were influenced by Rock Band. Like, yeah. A couple of Offspring albums myself. Nice. I do remember, like, the first time I moved out of my parents' place. I think, I'm gonna automatically homologate your car for this lobby. Sure. Yes. You want to install stock to purchase parts found? Yes. I'm going to assume this is a good thing. Yeah, the first thing I did when I got my own place is just get online and buy a bunch of Foo Fighters albums and a couple of Weird Al albums as well. Yeah, that's like, oh geez, this is pretty loud. That makes up a lot of my physical music album collection anyway. I think I also got like a best of Bon Jovi. I know some people out there like to make fun of Bon Jovi. Like, one thing he's good at is about making songs about how he wants to be a cowboy, which, yes, but also I like some of his stuff, right? Especially Wanted Dead or Alive. I think the thing kind of endeared me to Wanted Dead or Alive didn't even have to do with like Wanted Dead or Alive itself. It was the way Rock Band did it. Because one of the fun things about Rock Band is like with certain songs, if you're doing well enough, they'll add like an audience sing-along part, which really gets you in there. It's like, oh yeah, now you feel like you're truly at a concert. But the sing-along part for Wanted Dead or Alive, it didn't sing along directly with the lyrics. It was like sort of like an accompaniment, something like you'd expect to hear the audience sing along, the way you'd expect the audience to sing along at a concert, right? You see, Bon Jovi would still sing something like "I'm wanted," and the audience would reply "Wanted," and then Bon Jovi could do "Dead or Alive," something like that. The way they did the sing along parts for "Wanted, Dead or Alive" was like fantastic and kind of really endeared me to the song, which is why I enjoy it so much. I mean, the song itself is great too, but the audience sing-along parts just they brought it to a whole other level. I've heard that Steel Cowboy song so often on the internet radio while playing American Truck Simulator. Yeah. Definitely you probably hear a lot of Bon Jovi songs, right? Because, like I said earlier, a lot of songs are about how he wants to be a cowboy. And Wanted Dead or Alive just happens to be one of the more blatant ones about it, right? It's like, yes, a steel horse, right? Like, you're the modern day cowboy on a motorcycle, baby. I still enjoy his songs. They're fun. I'm not gonna say they're, these masterpieces or anything like that, but they're good to listen to. It's a hair metal station, and yet they play Bon Jovi. Okay, yeah, you know what? Yeah. So I guess if a song gets old enough, I guess things start to blur together. You know, imagine genres of the olden days, probably not the genres that are popular these days. So I guess that might confuse some people on where music might fall under. It's a good way to hear stuff you haven't heard before. You know what? Yeah, I agree with that, right? Although, yeah. Sometimes you just want to fire up the radio and just listen to whatever, right? Every now and then you'll find a tune that catches your ear. And like, hey, this is cool. You know, you look it up. I'm like, you know, maybe seek a video, maybe you find a track of it online. You listen to it in full again. It's like, wow, I really like this. And then maybe you'll check out more of their stuff, or you'll just purchase the song directly. I've looked up a lot of songs from internet radio on YouTube, so I can download them. Yeah, something like that, right? Another thing I like to do, right? It's like certain streamers I watch. Sometimes they do karaoke streams, right? Or they'll just sing random songs, and sometimes they'll sing ones that I haven't heard of before. I'm like, this song's pretty cool, and you know, I listen to it, and I find it cool, so I'll purchase it. Purchase an MP3. Yeah. You hear something that's like, what is this? I like it. That's a fun part. Fun part of, say, listen to the radio, listen to karaoke, listen to a stream where they have a playlist of music, or they sing. A recent song soundtrack that I got into thanks to karaoke stream. Dear Evan Hansen, you know. I haven't watched the musical because apparently it's a musical, but I really like the music that they have for it. Right, it's like really catchy stuff. Right, I think I read "Waving Through a Window" is that kind of song that's like super catchy, and also one that, you know, for someone who's just like really anxious, you could probably relate to it as well. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You Will Be Found is just your typical feel-good, uplifting song, but sometimes it's the kind of song you need to hear. So that's nice too. And they have some other good tracks on there as well. I guess one other song that kind of a hard time, you know, removing it from what I first heard it from was Rise Against Paper Wings. I first heard it in, I think I might have talked about this already, but Burnout 3 had Rise Against Paper Wings on the soundtrack, and it felt like one of the most fitting tracks for that game, mostly because of the fast tempo. If you listen to the song itself, the lyrics are kind of more sad in tone, but the fast tempo of the song, like, you know, fit the super fast-paced nature of the song. So, you know, every time I hear Paper Wings, I always flash back to Burnout 3. So that's always fun. Or I guess another song that I attribute that I have a hard time, like, you know, that's I've just come to associate with a game now. I think I might have brought this up already too, but Aerosmith's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, and Saints Row 4, because the opening of Saints Row 4 is, you know, fantastic opening. It's yeah. You know, they played like super serious at the start. You're like doing your super secret covert mission and disposing of the bad guy, and then you know, And then at the end, you're like jumping off the rocket, and suddenly you just hear, "Don't wanna close my eyes." Right? Wow, you're making like your ultimate sacrifice in there, and everyone in the Saints is just going, "Oh, I can't believe you're doing this. We'll remember you. You're a hero." Wow, that song's just playing. I guess it's especially fitting because you know, the song first came out with the Armageddon soundtrack, so yeah. The little thumbs up the boss gives when free falling after that missile. Yes! Everything about that sequence was perfect. It was just like this perfect release of goofiness after the entire serious section you had. And everyone's still playing it deadly serious too. Because, yeah, the boss was was deactivating the missile. They're obviously the ultimate hero, but, you know, they survived and the rest of the game happened. Still a great ride. Last song I got was one from that new Nissan Ariya advert here. It's so catchy. Ooh. Maybe I'll have to check out this Nissan Ariya advert later. I feel like commercials are kind of like, oh, the icing on the cake? That dubstep remix of Hail to the Chief. Yes! Absolutely. They're going, "Your mission rewards President of the United States, Vice President Keith David." Good stuff. Yeah, I feel like commercials are kind of like the other frequent source of you know, catchy songs, right? Because you're bound to hear, you know, the current popular stuff on there, and yeah, I think I've Lesson Nor Ex Camp Claude. Ah, thanks for that. I'll check out that tune. I always like a good catchy tune. I feel like car commercials special they're usually up to date on the pop culture kind of music. You know, if it's not the trance music that some of them use. Reminds me of that, in the US, there's like a really old series of car commercials that had that zoom, zoom, zoom music, so, yeah. You know, you see the car go by and you see zoom, 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 and, you know, you hear it long enough and it just sticks in your head, right? Which, you know, mission accomplished, right? It's like, you hear the song, you just associate it with the product. That's what they're after. There was like a recent set of commercials I saw when I was at my parents' place that used Chandelier as the music, backing music, but you know, that's a fun song. Or oh my god, you know, it just randomly popped into my head. It was like a really old Super Bowl commercial that was kind of meta. It was just like the elements of the perfect Super Bowl commercial, and you know they'd put in like, say, like #1 product, or #2 celebrity cameo, and you know, celebrity cameo would appear, and then I remember the final part was like pop culture song, and then they played Journey's "Don't Stop Believing." I just remember that just sticking with me for a long time, because I guess back then I just found it hilarious. I was like, look at this commercial, it's so meta. It's making fun of things that it's part of. Nice when adverts were really fun and memorable. Yeah, I feel like I don't know, a lot of adverts I see these days tend to be, they feel more abstract. You know, the nationwide commercials at least. When it comes to local ads, though, you still get your fun run of quality with them, right? You get the ones that feel professional enough, and you get the ones that are like, yeah, these people here, these business owners, they should probably, you know, they shouldn't quit their day job. Every time I put the internet radio on, it's always that Progressive insurance advert. Flow. I remember when Progressive pushed Flow like super hard, right? I think she's still doing stuff, right? She's still on doing commercials. I remember seeing Flow ads when I was in high school. That was a while ago. Honestly, Flo was like enough of a meme that they like made her a character that you could download in Mod Nation Racers like a long time ago. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Speaking of insurance ads, there's one I saw recently that brought back Rick Astley, and they just had him just do Never Gonna Give You Up, right? It was just a modern day Never Gonna Give You Up, you know. They had him doing his dancing and the scene switching and stuff, and you know, instead of like random other people, the AAA employees were all doing the extra parts. And you know, they put a little lampshade on the thing at the end. He's like watching the video. He's like, "Oh, people still like this?" And of course, the answer is yes. People still like Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. Although people call it Rickroll these days. Yeah. I think that the most surprising thing about that commercial was that it was a AAA commercial and not Geico, because I feel like Geico commercials really try super hard to kind of tap into that nostalgia, right? We always see those commercials where at least I do, right? Or where they introduce like an old thing where it's like, oh yeah, if you want to do a thing, all these guys, right? You know, like you're cooking a burrito in the microwave, right? And it says like 10 seconds ago. What do? You call Europe. You have them play the final countdown, because that's what they do. That's what Europe does. They play the final countdown. Or say, you know, you need to push something. What do? You call Salt and Pepper, because that's what they do. They push things real good. There's series of sorts of pop culture commercials where they make their layup references. Yeah, you do a thing, and then this old school group will show up and do their reference. I think it kind of stemmed off of when, you know, they did less of the pop culture stuff and more of like I forget. I'm sure you can find a bunch of them on YouTube, right? All those references. Some of those dodgy Dorito adverts you have over there that almost got banned. Really? Huh. I have to admit, Mr. Dorito ads really didn't stick with me, but wow. They were so questionable that other places would not show them. Very suggestive, really. Wow. Suggestive ads that flew in the US, that actually were airable in the US. I find that amusing. I guess that's another thing I have to look up on YouTube then, just to see what these Doritos adverts were all about. But yeah, I imagine, geez. What is it about food? What is it about food and people want to make it, like, very sexy for some reason, right? Not talking about, like, the obvious things, like hot dogs and cherries and what have you, but... Seriously? Corn chips? Somehow they made corn chips suggestive? Wow. Like, what? It's like, I don't know. I guess you could, like, super zoom in on someone's mouth, I guess. And do a slow-mo snap of the chip. I guess that, someone's into that, right? I guess. One of my faves was the M&M's one. Get in the bowl. You get in the bowl. M&M's had some fun ones too. The one I always remember was the Christmas ad. Where you see Santa, it's like, oh, he does exist, and then Santa says they do exist, and then the old M&M and Santa both faint. Or no, it was the red M&M that fainted. But yeah, it was funny. Speaking of Christmas adverts, there was the other one. It was a really, really old ad where it wasn't even like for a specific product, if I remember correctly. It was just like the kids would run down the stairs. They'd see the living room was just completely filled with toys, right? Just floor to ceiling, just toys everywhere. And then one of the parents remarked, "Wow, that must have been some really good cookies." And then the kid says, "I didn't leave Santa cookies. I left him cheese." And then you'd have the announcer go, "Behold, the power of cheese." It's just like, looking back, yeah, that's a bit of a non sequitur, but it's like, wow. Imagine some impressionable kids would probably be like, "Oh boy, I gotta drop some, yeah, I gotta leave some cheese out for Santa to this year." Thanks for the link. I will give it a look-see when I am through. I'll say another old school commercial that kind of stuck with me. Was the Crossfire commercial. If only for the last bit, where they sing Crossfire, Crossfire. The game itself wasn't even that great. It was just you just drop a bunch of plastic pucks on the field, and you shot at them with their ball-bearing guns. You tried to push them into your opponent's goal zone, and that was it. Definitely wasn't as intense as the commercial would make it out to be. Which, you know, I imagine would describe like 95% of the products. But, yeah. Let's go talk about how this action figure, or never forget the Action Force G.I. Joe adverts, the guy singer went all in. Yeah. They really wanted to sell you their product, right? As the cheat commandos would say, buy all our playsets and toys. That's kind of the marketing tactic of the day, right? Your favorite TV show would show you your hero doing this cool new thing or equipping this cool new technology, and just a few days later, you'd be walking into toy shops like, "Oh man, look, this is the action figure of the hero with the new thing. Oh boy, I should really get that." Of course, you'd beg your parents for it, and they go, "Nah, you already have it at home. So you just settle with the toys you have at home." Which again, looking back, good on them for doing that. But you know, when you're a single-digit age kid, you're not bound to look at things that way. Prime example was He-Man, the toy line that spawned the series. Yeah, Masters of the Universe. That toy line sure had the power, didn't it? Like, I'm pretty sure some other toy lines that were like that, probably like Transformers. Mattel knew what they were doing. Yeah, they did. Yeah. That's how you get them. mean, I guess we could see something like that happening in modern day too. Maybe it's not like, say, a new mode or anything like that. It's just like merch in general, right? You see this series come out, it's like, wow, this is really cool. I'm gonna buy all this stuff related to it, and then you see out in the stores, it's like, your series related merch. You got your series blanket, you got your series dinnerware, you have your series pillows, bed sets, folders, books, bags, cosplay gear. Pokemon, yes, absolutely, Pokemon. Oh man, I eased, yeah. When the Pokemon craze first hit, I was definitely in the right age bracket for that, and I was definitely trying to consume everything Pokemon related. Right, I was watching the anime. I was getting the cards. I was playing the games. I was definitely getting some of the extra products around it too. Of course, since I was like in the prime spot for Pokemon, actually, let's not worry about that. But Digimon though, I do remember that too. That was kind of say released around around the same time as Pokemon. I guess in the US, it was kind of on a rival channel, whereas Pokemon was on WB, Digimon was on Fox. Of course, these days, now we know they definitely were going after different things, right? It's not about Mon collecting. At least Digimon, isn't about collecting the Mons and raising their Mons. Right, it's more like definitely more emphasized the bond between you and your monster companion. And the stories, of course, they definitely went different places than Pokemon did. You know, Pokemon usually saved their world-ending, big dramatic stuff for the movies, whereas Digimon, they felt like they kind of escalated to that point in the anime series itself. Wow, I really like this layout. Look at that. Scenic, top of the mountain type of route, cold, snowy Alps. Digimon had the better theme song. Yeah. It's definitely a catchy one. Very techno, very electronic in nature. Though definitely, with how iconic the old Digimon theme song was, definitely threw people for a loop when was it Digimon Frontier, I want to say, had like a completely different theme song. Season 1 theme, my jam. It was a good jam. Definitely remember singing it back in the day. Change into digital champions to save the digital world. The way it kind of dropped. It dropped into like a digitized version when it said world. Always got me. Honestly, I think one of the ones I remember about, one of the things I remember about Digimon was kind of sort of related to it, where they did the themed weeks, right? Because Pokemon was doing themed weeks, where they also did a themed week for Digimon. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a special week of Digimon called Agumon Week. And the joke was, of course, they thought when people said Agumon Week, they thought that Agumon was actually like low in strength, but no. So they're like, no, I meant Agumon Week as in we have a week of Agumon in shows, not that Agumon is in need of assistance. Got it good with a variety of cartoons. Yeah. Though admittedly, I think for the most part, you know, at least for me, I want to say I had like one or two shows that I really want to watch, and then after that, I'd return control of the TV back to my parents, who would go and then watch their sports program or their Saturday morning shows or afternoon shows or whatever they did. At least for the WB block, right? Back when they had Pokemon, there was also Men in Black, the series, Jackie Chan cartoon. Let's say Batman Beyond sometimes, and Static Shock, and the Zeta Project as well. Yeah. Even if they only like aired, it was like a 2-hour block or something like that. But yeah, they definitely rotated through a lot of shows. Although Pokemon was always the headliner, because of course it would be the headliner. And Fox, I remember. I didn't watch as much of that, but definitely had its own variety of shows too, like Digimon and Metabots and Power Rangers, right? They had like the later series as well. You know, they got older. It was always DBZ and Tenchi Muyo. Ah, yeah, the Toonami selection included DBZ, Tenchi Muyo, also Gundam, Sailor Moon. Fox Kids Jetix had some great shows here. Yeah, I want to say Fox Kids block in the US also, they did it okay. Yeah, they were fine until it turned into Fox Blocks, and then 4Kids TV, which 4Kids TV, imagine most people know about it, and its reputation precedes itself. Yeah. Sometimes share the classics too, like Mask and Ulysses 3. Ah. Good stuff. When it comes to classic cartoons for me, it seemed like Cartoon Network was kind of the place for that, for me at least. The old school shows they ran back in the day, like Johnny Quest and The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, and Pirates of Dark Water. That show always stuck out to me. This is because, you know, that show had a pretty straightforward premise that kind of spelled out the beginnings, like gotta find the 13 treasures. And unfortunately, by the time the series was canceled, I think they only found like 7 or 8 of them. So yeah. On the other end of the spectrum of the series cartoons, you had the silly classics too, like Cow and Chicken and Dexter's Lab and A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. That was the Scooby-Doo show du jour for that day. It was like, hey, it's like Scooby-Doo, but it's kids. Perhaps a bit more wacky too. Right, it's like once per episode, you have that segment where they dance around, people would start singing, and they would just randomly cut to pictures of the monster of the week and the gang all dancing. And every episode, they would always accuse Red Herring of being the culprit, but of course, he would never be the culprit because he was a red herring. Haha, get it? Except for that one episode where he actually was the culprit. Tasmania was always... I remember that show too, yeah. I think that came out when I was like really young, so I don't remember too much about it, but yeah. I think that was when WB was kind of hitting on all cylinders with their cartoon packs. The Mega Drive game was so much fun. Fortunately, I've never played the Tasmania game. Unfortunately, on Sega consoles. The only one I remember playing on the Genesis/Mega Drive was I think it was called like a Bug's Story or something like that, where you're playing as Bugs Bunny and you were like going through a variety of worlds that all had like different settings and stuff. The one I remember was like the 1001 Nights inspired one, where you were also like picking up weapons like bombs and missiles and you're just chucking them at enemies while going through the level. I think I remember spending a weekend or two on that game. It was a decent enough time filler. Sounds vaguely familiar. Alright, so I'm not the only one. That's good. Yeah. But yeah, that era of WB had things like, what was it? Is this Hockenheim or the Nürburgring? You know what? I don't know. We'll find out soon. When we get to the end of the race, they should tell us. I think I saw Hockenheim up there, so it's probably that. Yeah, there you go. Huge crowd near the back of the track looks familiar. Ah, that's it. I guess you've been around, haven't you? Wait, finished? I'm done with milestone rewards? Huh. Oh. I guess I was finished with level 10. Alright. Oh, because I've reached a new collection tier. Right, got it. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Of course, I'm paying more credits, but, you know, I'm getting a bigger discount. Alright, final race. We're going to Watkins Glen. Short circuit alternate. 4 laps, 2.5 miles of track. Team Orica Viper. Alright. car was there to stop me. See, someone up there's got a unique livery for their car. Hold on. Let me get close to you so I can see what that livery is. Hey, could you tell me who that character is? Do I need to... is there a photo mode? Oh, hey, there is photo mode. I'm gonna check this out real quick. What is... I have no idea who they are. Also, this picture keeps blurring. Alright, back to the race. Sure, they've got enough lime green GT3s. No, you can never have enough lime green. Oh man. Actually, it reminds me of this, the really old game show, Deal or No Deal. I remember there was a contestant on that show who, was obsessed with the color lime green, right? I think they said they've always wanted to get a lime green car. So at some point down the line, the bank makes an offer. Hey, we're gonna give you a lime green car if you accept this deal right now. So, of course, she accepted, you know. And it's your usual padding out, dramatic mulling over, but you knew, everyone knew, yeah. This lady, super into lime green. Yeah, she's gonna take the lime green car. Just take it and run. Just go. Never mind the cash offer. She got a car, maybe. Yeah. Did nobody tell them that green cars are unlucky? Oh, is that so? Ah. Where does that legend come from? I think this is the first I've heard of that, actually. I mean, I know about, you know, painting things red to make them go faster, and admittedly that's more of a Warhammer reference than anything, but why are green cars associated with bad luck? No idea, huh? Ah, boy, isn't that how that kind of things usually go? You just, you know, someone tells you about a thing. Why? I don't know. It's how it's always been. You know, so it's something you find amusing enough. It's like, sure, might as well just continue it. Right? I feel like green cars being unlucky doesn't. It feels pretty, you know, pretty innocent for the most part. Something that's, you know, just you say it, you have a good laugh over. You know, like how people say, yeah, one of those old wives' tales, exactly right. Like how people say you don't cross paths with a black cat, or you don't walk under a ladder, or you don't break mirrors, things like that. Step on a crack. Yeah, exactly, right? Because your mother won't appreciate that at all. Because the saying is, step on a crack or you'll break your mother's back. Popular one when I was growing up was never put new shoes on the table. Ah. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Right? Because, you know, new shoes are clean, so you imagine, oh, yeah, they're totally fine for just, you know, putting around places if you haven't worn them yet, but don't put them on a table. Yeah. Kind of goes against with what you think about shoes straight out the box. There's a particular tradition, you know, superstition that my family believed in. It was like we never took pictures in groups of 3 because the old legend was that if you took a picture in a group of 3, whoever was in the middle of the picture would have bad fortune befall them. So we'd always try to avoid taking pictures in groups of 3 if we could, which was a little bit difficult considering that for most of my time growing up, it was me, my younger brother, and my younger sister, and of course we had to get pictures of all the kids. But since we couldn't do it in groups of 3. We'd always have to mix it up, right? It would have to be like, it would have to be me and my sister, and then me and my brother, and then my brother and my sister, or it would be all three of us kids, and maybe one of the parents. As long as it wasn't in a group of 3. That's definitely another one of those examples of old wives' tales, old legends that just been passed down. Whatever meaning they might have had was probably forgotten, but you always remember the end result of it. Much like the end result of this series, I got the full 2,000 points. I am a podium finisher. Top of the podium, baby.
After you win the Forza Drivers' Cup, they'll be carving your name on the podium.
No, don't carve my name on the podium. That's vandalism. I don't want to be remembered as a vandal. Anyways. We'll reap the rewards, get ourselves 30,000 credits. Build up a little bit of a bank. Alright, haven't quite hit the next level yet. But we're getting there. But, yeah. At the end of that series, I think I will call it there for this stream. Yeah. That was a good amount of racing. We completed a few series, got ourselves to the next championship. We're halfway through the Drivers' Cup. If I continue playing this, we might see ourselves winning a couple more trophies. But I think I'm gonna call it here. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. I think I'll return on Friday, where I'll start Euden Chronicle Rising. I'm kind of looking forward to playing that. So yeah. Have a good night. I'll see you next time.